what are your expectations out of him this year? Because we saw some real flashes at
Right,
times last season.
right. Yeah, you know, with Bennett, Clinton, and with Ted, all three of those guys being fourth-year juniors, you know, and it's one of the things I thought about, Kay. Our you know, offensively, the ball was going to Seth 2 years ago. Last year, Wes had it a lot. And we know how everybody else fit in on those teams. But it was Seth 2 years ago, Wes last year. And, you know, now I think Clinton, Jeremy, you know, moving into those type of prominent roles. But from what we've seen from Bennett this, you know, this month, a little bit this summer, but more this month, you know, he's real close to that prominent role, if not immediately next to Clinton, Jeremy. But I think he's ready to join those two and give us a third guy that we can throw the ball to a lot. You know, his body's changed quite a bit. He's worked harder to get himself in better shape. But as I talked about with Clint, you know, I think it's so valuable, and it happens, you know, to guys at different points in their careers when the confidence starts to catch up with the ability. And we saw that with Clint last year at the end. You know, Bennett, we saw a portion of it, you know, as he started to play better. But we've seen even more of that this fall. And I think for both of those guys, you know, some guys just have it. Some guys are confident all the time. Doesn't matter how they play, doesn't matter what they do, doesn't matter if they make a shot, miss it, doesn't matter, right? Some guys just have the kind of confidence that, you know, they don't care how they're playing, they don't care what anybody says about them. And then there's, you know, 90% of the rest of them, you know, I think that's a small group that are the way I just described. I think 90% of the rest of guys are just trying to figure it out and find their way in terms of confidence. And Bennett and Clint are getting really close. And I think that's the reason we're going to see a difference on the floor, is because their confidence is starting to catch up to their ability.
What's the team's psyche right now coming into the season?
Boy, guys are doing great. And I think all of it. I think the change for Jeremy is good. You know, when you're a good player like Jeremy and you've got those seniors, it isn't that you want those seniors to move out of the way. You know, you understand that we want to have the best team we can. So you do what's asked of you. And Jeremy did that. And there were nights last year when teams would, you know, when they put different defenders on Paul and a better defender on Paul and a secondary defender on Jeremy, and Jeremy would score more, right? He would understand that that's taking place, and he would go and get more for us. And so that change with Jeremy, I think has been a real positive for us. You know, to see him take on some more leadership, and to see, as I talked about with Clinton Bennett, to see those guys now compared to they were a year ago, let alone 2 and 3 years ago. And then just the addition, when you've got 7 new guys, the personality of your team changes a lot. And fortunately for us, you know, you always feel like you're recruiting the right guys. You always feel like the guys you're bringing in are going to really fit. But fortunately for us, the 7 new guys we brought in are doing, boy, they're doing great. And they really fit. So, you know, different dynamic, different personality, a little younger. So it's been good so far.
You lost 3 really good